In 1975, Mulvey laid claim to the term male gaze in cinema. Her main theory behind male gaze was that it was voyeuristic, meaning that women were objects to be looked upon, and fetishistic, meaning that they are subjects of castration anxiety, allowing males to have a greater feeling of power due to the woman's lack of a penis. There are three viewpoints described by Mulvey. First, there is a man looking on a woman, admiring her curves and form from afar. Second, the woman who is oblivious to the fact that she is being watched by males, but is nonetheless out and free in society, full of bliss. Finally, the audience can be the woman observer of the whole scene, but it is pertinent that she takes on the male mindset.
Mulvey's main point lays claim to the fact that in Hollywood, the main protagonist is a male character that the expected male audience can relate to, and women in film are just lustful objects, scantily dressed, and acting in very sexually desired manners. Flirtatious, childish, naive, they are merely available to be gawked at and used for sexual entertainment.
As we have discussed, Laura Mulvey's concept of the male gaze illustrates how film and advertising are geared toward male viewing pleasure, featuring women as sexual and maternal objects. However, upon further analysis, we can actually see how the male gaze can emasculate men. This picture from Alfred Hitchcock's Rear Window shows how the male gaze is not as controlling and powerful as some theorists have suggested. Janice Winship from the University of Sussex describes how the male gaze can trap men. We can see how, in these pictures and advertisements, the female's gaze is always focused outwards, not confined or punished. The male gaze, however, is trapped, always looking inward, admiring the female from afar. Does the male gaze ever actually draw the female's attention? John Berger, a Booker Prize-winning art critic, provided an accurate description of the male gaze when he stated that men act and women appear. Men watch women, while women watch themselves being looked at. The following perfume advertisements display many elements of the male gaze. For example, in Jessica Simpson's Angel Glam perfume ad, she is looking outward with a sexually inviting look on her face. Her hand is seductively positioned on her breast, and her legs are peeking out of the covers. Other aspects of the male gaze are seen in Scarlett Johansson's Dolce & Gabbana perfume advertisement. While a large amount of her cleavage is showing, the focus of the male gaze is actually on her lips. Her bright red lips suggest seduction and danger, and Johansson's finger on her mouth is reminiscent of male oral fantasy.
Mulvey's essay was written on film theory and examines how the camera work of a film can transport an audience member into a male protagonist perspective, allowing them to experience an interaction with a female that is objectifying and covertly sexual. Today, action and comedy films are the ones that feature the most male gaze scenes because they're the most testosterone driven. But in any genre, it is still commonly visible because the film industry is still heavily male dominated.
In this clip from Dr. No, James Bond performs an act of voyeurism. As he watches from afar, a woman in a bikini emerges from the sea. You can tell from the look in his eye, his curiosity has been struck and he desires her sexually.
What are you doing here? Looking for shells?
No, I'm just looking.
Stay where you are.
I promise I won't steal.
In Wayne's World, a 1993 comedy, Wayne sees Cassandra on stage playing with her band. She's ultimately dressed in glorified lingerie, covered up with a white leather vest. And when the camera switches to his point of view, everything goes into slow motion and the music cuts out and Dreamweaver comes in. And in post-production, the editors added a pink, sparkly, ethereal haze to make her seem like she's angelic, sent from the heavens just for him.
She's a babe! Adi, 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 adi.